The phrase boys will be boys is not supposed to excuse sexual harassment. It's supposed to excuse all of the things that make your friends really nervous to let you have a microphone at their wedding. In fact, in one of my best friend's weddings, I was a groomsman because he didn't trust me to be a best man. Same goes for our other best friend. And when we had to walk a bridesmaid down the aisle and I introduced myself, she said, "Oh, you're Dustin. I've heard about you. So Mary Catherine told me to tell you, whatever you and Mark are planning, don't." But anyway, I ended up lifting Mark Dirty Dancing style at the reception. Boys Will Be Boys is supposed to be when one of your best friends unfortunately passes away. You were at his memorial listening to everyone else talk about how he was a great guy, so kind, never said an unkind word, and you get on the mic and have to say, "So I can tell none of you were actually friends with him because he was an asshole." Then you spend the next 10 minutes just telling really embarrassing stories that he would punch you in the face for sharing. It's the only time I saw his mom smile the whole night. It's supposed to be things like when my best friend and I went to our favorite restaurant, Buffalo Wild Wings, and I had my 4K new laptop up on the table with us, and the waitress laughed at that because I had put a fireplace video on the screen, and then she laughed harder when she came back with our drinks because he and I were pretending to roast marshmallows against the synthetic fire, and then she laughed 3 times as hard when she came back because we had replaced the fresh marshmallows with ones that we had pre-roasted, making it look, you know what I mean. Or at my old construction job when we would trap people in the porta potties by booming the telehandler forks against the door so they can't get out. And I was announcing at a race series back then where we used smoke bombs at the start line. So we would just casually drop a smoke bomb down the little pipe that extends from the top. So it wasn't fun for them, but we laughed very hard. Or the universal male urge to jump over a bonfire when there's one available and you were getting ready to jump over one, and while practicing to make sure you had a clear distance, you tripped on a log, flew in, rolled out, had to actually do the stop, drop, and roll thing because your flesh was aflame, and the first thing you say is my shirt okay? When you get really tired of being the sober babysitting friend taking care of all of your friends while they are either drunk or tripping out on something, and your friends decide to try mushrooms, and you're just getting annoyed with them by that point, and one of them says, "Dude, it looks like there's a wolf coming out of that wall," and you finally reach your limit, and you just say, "Yeah, that's real, you should run." And then you spend the next 3 hours trying to find him.